you ever fighting Anthony Joshua?
It was something that was talked about off and on as my career was winding down, but it was, if I would have continued fighting, absolutely. No doubt about it. Like, you see it. If you go watch my post-fight press conference, Kovalev 2 Verge mentioned, and we hadn't talked about it in a while, leading up to that fight. Everything was Kovalev for the past year and a half. So he mentioned it. And there was literally nothing left for me to do at 175 pounds. Adonis Stevenson, at that time, I don't believe deserved a shot because he did sort of what some of those guys on that side of the fence would do. They pick and choose who they want to fight. They make good money fighting C-level, B-minus guys. And he was not eager to fight Kovalev. There's no way, me coming from a lower weight class, 168 pounds, that I should have jumped the line and been more eager to fight Sergey Kovalev than Adonis Stevenson. Then I do the heavy lifting, and Adonis is like, yeah, let's do a super fight. No, we're not going to do that. I'm going to put my business hat on. I just fought the biggest, baddest man, biggest name in the division. I'm not going backwards. So there was nothing left at 75. If I stayed around, it was going to be cruiserweight to try to target Tony Bellew. Tony was not going to turn down a fight. I know he would have took the fight. And once I felt that weight, that 200 pounds, and got my feet under me, so to speak, with that fight in one training camp, we were going for Anthony Joshua. Now, if he would have took it serious, I don't know, but that's what we were gunning for.
I think you were were you heavyweight or light heavyweight champion at the Olympics? Was it heavyweight?
Light heavy.
It was 175. It was 175. Yeah.
But that's what people don't understand. I've seen casuals sort of react to that comment, and this is no disrespect to Anthony Joshua, but I just feel the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
I've never had problems with a bigger man, ever. My brother, who I talk about in the book, I believe my brother had more talent and skill and ability than me, just didn't love it like I loved it. So I put in more work and I eventually passed him up. But he was a Tommy Hearns type, very, very rangy, devastating right hand, always under his feet, ready. If you make a mistake, he's going to make you pay. And I've also been a middleweight facing heavyweights. I've been a middleweight facing light heavy. I've never had problems with taller, more physically bigger men in the boxing. In fact, I welcome that. What's more challenging is a skillful fighter, a guy who makes me think the way I make him think. A high-level chess match is more concerning to me than some guy that's got, okay, what else do you have? So if you stand in the line of Anthony Joshua's straight right hand, as a smaller man, even as a bigger man, you got problems. There's no doubt about that. There are things that I would have had to figure out, overcome. But at that stage in my career, there is no light heavyweight. I've conquered 68. I've conquered 75. I'm going to cruiserweight. If I'm successful in that fight against Tony Bellew, which I believe I am, I'm going to the mountaintop. And if we have a rematch clause, we'll do that, and then I'm done. I don't see a problem with me fighting and beating Anthony Joshua because I would have worn him down, Garrett. Yeah.
And those are the words of Andre Ward as he talks Anthony Joshua and the possibility of fighting AJ. And it was a good breakdown, I might add. I think that Andre Ward, listening to Andre Ward talk about the idea of fighting AJ, it shows me counterpunching Andre Ward, it shows me that he retired too early. Even at 35 years of age, and that would have put, at that time, AJ probably in the late 20s. I think he should have went and did exactly what he was talking about doing. Yeah, he wrote a book, and I think the book is a way to express what happened in your life and get it out. But I also think that Andre Ward, being undefeated, retiring undefeated, beating Sergey Kovalev, sure he left out of the sport being one of the number one pound-for-pound fighters, but based on how he was talking, and he still brings this up to this day, I think a guy like Carl Froch, which he beat, by the way, has a more decorated and a more fulfilled career than he did, okay? Because I think Andre Ward could have did great things. Now, he respects the power set of AJ, but he thinks he had more skill. I think he has more skill than AJ. But understand something about AJ. That AJ, that he would have fought then, would have been a very, very dangerous AJ. Because even if AJ didn't have the experience that AJ has now, AJ still would have came at Andre Ward to knock him out. I don't think he would have played with him. This isn't the AJ that fought Usyk twice. Okay? And speaking of Usyk, him going to cruiserweight at that time and him fighting Tony Bellew and this, that, and the other, he still had to deal with someone like Usyk because Usyk was actually there at cruiserweight. So maybe, just maybe, he wouldn't have got past cruiserweight dealing with Alexander Usyk because he was that guy that created and collected every belt like Thanos at cruiserweight. Okay. Tony Bellew, sure, that would have been a possibility at the time, but understand, Tony Bellew got knocked out by Usyk. Even though Tony Bellew did a great job with Usyk, he still got knocked out. Okay, and someone like Andre Ward fighting Usyk, that would probably be the prize, and that may be the fight, that may be the reckoning, the challenge, maybe the stop sign, maybe the screeching halt. It might have been simply because of how busy Usyk is. If you heard Andre Ward talking about the busyness of these fighters and how Calzaghe was able to do that to Bernard Hopkins, okay, earlier in his interview there, you know, I think that would have gave him problems, the back and forth, because Andre Ward is a warrior, and I don't think he has bad habits, or I know he didn't when he was fighting. You know, I think the pressure would have been a problem for him, but that would be something I would love to see because the slickness of Andre Ward, also being, you know, a southpaw, okay? And when I mean a southpaw, I mean a natural southpaw. Depends on how he fights. No, he was left-handed. And I would love to see him fight Usyk. So fighting Joshua, sure, that's where the money is. But the skill set, as you heard him say, he would be more bothered by a guy that's smaller but more skillful. Well, who's more smaller and who's more skillful? And that's Alexander Usyk. Okay, so I think definitely Usyk would have been in his way before he got to AJ Bars. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Andre Ward talking about the possibility of fighting Anthony Joshua and the desire thereof, I think, still to this day. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!